Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the independence and fighting spirit of those of you who have Mars in the 10th house within your natal birth chart, but also for those of you who have Aries ruling the 10th house within your natal birth chart as well, or if you have an Aries midheaven. However, before we do dive into today's video, certainly make sure that you give this video a like if you do like it. Also, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to, of course, click that little bell icon so that you can keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And one more quick thing to mention, and that is that I have a merchandise store along with some practical ebooks available, so you can go to the links in the description box below if you are interested. Okay, so with all of those introductions out of the way, Mars in the 10th house and Aries ruling the 10th house / Aries midheaven individuals, let's do this. Okay, so if you have Mars in the 10th house or Aries in the 10th / on the midheaven, then what this suggests is that you are a highly ambitious and driven person, particularly when it comes to your career path and your position within the world. And you will push and persevere until you reach whatever type of success it is that you seek. So much so that you are willing to fight tooth and nail for the things you want to accomplish. In fact, you might be viewed by others as an overachiever or as somebody who never stops charging after new and exciting goals. And when you do achieve a particular goal, especially a long-term goal, you're already on to the next one. And you might not get any rest due to this passion and fire in your stomach, where all you focus on is doing and doing and doing. You are hungry to work up the corporate ladder, hungry for status and recognition, and you strive to reach the top of many mountains. And so in this respect, there is no denying your efforts, Mars in the 10th house, Aries 10th house individuals. But the thing about this is that you want to achieve your goals knowing you did so within your own right, not because others impacted you and had a say. This could even be a situation where you are trying to enter into a new job position or into a new profession. And what you notice is how other people are landing jobs because of connections they have, because of people they know. But then you come along with zero connections and you push for that profession because you want it that badly. You might not get it the first time around or the second or the third, but you keep trying and you keep persevering, and quite possibly you get it. You get that profession, you get that role, and what a victory, what a win that is for you, especially given that it wasn't about connections. It was about willpower, drive, and a thirst for accomplishing your goals. Therefore, we notice an independent streak when it comes to you, especially when it comes to your career path and when it comes to your purpose. And we also notice this fighting spirit. And there's no denying your energy levels and your self-assertion and your motivation either. It could be suggested even that you push and motivate yourself out there in front of the public, and you don't need for others to tell you to take action. You don't need for others to give you direction or to get you moving. You do these things yourself, and by doing so, you know how to get the job done. Naturally, however, also keep in mind the sign Mars is in, along with aspects, respectfully, because these things can change things about, they add to the bigger picture. But I still think you are someone who strives to take control of your life path and of your direction. You are the captain of your own ship, as the saying goes. And whichever way you go about taking action on your professional and or social status goals, you'll prefer to be independent while doing so. Though speaking of social status here, when it comes to your public image and your reputation, you create a strong and lasting impact on the public, as well as on members of authority, such as managers and bosses and so on. There's this mighty presence that you have. It's the type of presence that says, I'm here to lead, not to follow. I'm here to get the work done. I'm here to do my job. So anybody who interferes with that, best get out of my way. And there's certainly no waiting around for people who don't know how to make up their minds or who don't know how to do their job either. And even following on from this point, there's also a likelihood of you getting into arguments and fights with others, especially with managers and bosses who you think are incompetent, or who you think are incapable of being leaders. Maybe you think you would do a much better job of things, and if you are approached or accused of something you did not do, you will most likely defend yourself. You might even be courageous enough to go to someone higher up if it means standing up for yourself. Same thing could be said about you standing up for others. Essentially, it's this whole attitude of do not mess with me, because if you do, I won't back down. Furthermore, it's this type of tough energy that can be applied to social media. It can be applied to your online presence. Mars in the 10th house, Aries in the 10th house individuals. So if haters or trolls come along and start bashing you or calling you out, you will most likely react, or you will share something that clearly shows your defense. Or if a company or an organization, if they scam you, you will make others aware of their shady behaviors. Likewise, if you notice somebody else stealing your work or taking your online identity, same thing. Basically, you won't tolerate people trying to attack you or bring you down online or publicly, especially if your identity comes into the equation. Oh, and if others try to compete with you, it's game on. Then again, maybe it's that you feel like you must fight for your position within the world. You must fight if you are to remain relevant or if you are to be recognized and seen. Could be suggested that you grew up with a parental figure or with parents who really pushed on you, and they pushed on you hard to achieve. And so in this respect, maybe for some of you, you are pushing so much in order to receive recognition from said parent or parents. Or maybe it's that you're pushing so much for recognition from the public, kind of reenacting this parental relationship that you may have experienced with your parents. Or maybe it's just that it's been so drilled into you, this idea of being successful or of never stopping until you get what you want. Now, whilst this drive and motivation can be extremely beneficial, especially if it is that you wish to be self-employed or to run your own business, for example, but what can also come about with such actions is your difficulty with slowing down, your difficulty with chilling out, relaxing. Heck, you could have such a tunnel vision view as you push so hard to achieve that you end up not seeing other people or places or things around you. You don't stop to breathe and take in what you've already achieved so far. And because you don't recognize such things yourself, you then keep pushing, and eventually you might hit a dead end or you might burn out. And so in this way, it's important to slow down and take it easy. Again, perhaps this depends on the sign and aspects that Mars is in, if it is that you have Mars in the 10th house. But when you want to make something happen out there in the big bad world, boy, are you fast and furious on your mission, Mars in the 10th house, Aries in the 10th house individuals. Now, like I said, you may gravitate towards positions where you are self-employed or where you run your own business. But some other professions you gravitate towards may include being in the military, or working with weaponry, or working within very hot environments, or within highly dangerous environments. Then again, maybe you gravitate towards fitness and professional sports, or even towards working with heavy machinery. But with that being said, please do consider again the sign that Mars is in, if it is that you have Mars in the 10th house, and then even if you have Aries in the 10th house or an Aries midheaven, look to see there where Mars is located within your chart. They're just taking this a step back for a moment. I mentioned that you might argue with members of authority. Well, you might also argue with your parents over your individual path and purpose. It could be that you argue with your parents over what your long-term goals are, and the thing about this as well is that you're coming to learn lifelong lessons surrounding your independence. It could be that your independence goes through this trial and error process where you are learning from your mistakes as you aim to move forward, or maybe it's that bravery and courage. These things come into the equation as well in terms of developing these things. So for example, this could look like you standing up to your parents, or trusting your gut when taking action, or this could look like you putting yourself first and not apologizing for it. So whilst yes, you have this independent streak to your purpose, at the same time, I also think you're maturing and growing when it comes to such things as well. Likewise, there's a maturity process happening when it comes to your self-assertion as well, whilst also learning how to overcome certain challenges and obstacles along the way. And so I think the older and more mature you become, the more you learn how to stand on your own 2 feet. Heck, you might even come to a stage in your life where you achieve more than a parental figure, or more than your parental figures ever did. Though in this case, perhaps this pertains to a father figure more specifically. Could be that your father pushed on you growing up, but then you end up exceeding his expectations due to higher status, success, and money and so on. Then again, maybe there's times when those expectations of your father, they weigh on you and feel like a burden. Perhaps such expectations are even linked to all the accomplishing and achieving you do, as if this father figure's voice follows you around wherever you are. Now, that's not to say that your father deliberately meant to create this within you, but maybe there's a type of link here. Or, you know what, quite possibly, it was your father who was a major achiever and hard worker, and so you felt called to be just like him in this way. But whatever way this played out for you personally, I think you come to be your own authority. And I think there's a level of selfishness and putting yourself first that's involved here as well. Maybe for some of you, putting yourself first feels awkward and uncomfortable, especially if you have a Libra IC or Libra in the 4th house. So it might take some getting used to. But perhaps a part of your life path and your purpose is connected with being independent when it comes to your profession. However, with that being said, just looking at this overall, regardless if you have Mars in the 10th house or Aries in the 10th or an Aries midheaven, well, there's a suggestion here of you being careless, reckless, and dangerous not to mention headstrong when it comes to your long-term goals and your reputation and your career path. So you might not think before you change career paths, for example, or you might run into some unnecessary trouble on social media, or you might get into feuds online over something you really feel you need to defend, you need to protect. Heck, this could even be a situation where your reputation is built on fighting, bulldozing, competing, and constantly starting arguments and wanting to win arguments. Though on the other hand, there's the likelihood of you being known as a daredevil, as a risk taker, as someone who is fearless and brave because you pushed to achieve something others shied away from. Though whatever the case may be here, it is you, Mars in the 10th house, Aries in the 10th house individuals who are widely known for your bravery and for your courage and for your daring ambition. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video all about the independence and fighting spirit of those of you who have Mars in the 10th house within your natal birth chart, but also for those of you who have the sign of Aries in your 10th house or an Aries midheaven. Now, if you do happen to have any of these placements, then please let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your feedback. But with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button. And also make sure that you give this video a like, remember. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!